I'm only 23, but last week I made $21,756 from simply posting content online. And I don't just expect you to believe me, so here's a screenshot to prove it. Now you probably think I followed a bunch of complicated steps to achieve this, but what if I told you there was only one simple thing I did back in 2020 that's made making money on social media pretty easy? And that once you understand how it works, you'll be able to copy and paste my strategy and literally double or even triple your chances of finally making money online. Now I get it, that sounds completely crazy, and if I were you laying in bed watching this, I'd probably think this is total BS as well. But if you stick with me for the next few minutes, I'll prove that this strategy is 100% real. I'll break down exactly why it works and how you can use it to fast track your way to make $10,000 a month online. So I discovered it all the way back in mid-2020. The pandemic was raging, I was stuck in a teeny condo, and I decided I was going to become a content creator. The only problem was I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I didn't know how to use a camera. I didn't know what to post, and honestly, I was scared of what my friends and family would think. Plus, I was so frustrated because I was watching all these teenagers on TikTok getting millions of views, making money, and traveling all over the world, all things I desperately wanted to do. And I couldn't help but think, what am I missing here? I had motivation, I was ready to put in the work, but I had absolutely no clue how to grow a social media following. But then something crazy happened. It was about 9 p.m. one night, and I was just doom scrolling on TikTok when I noticed something. I realized that in the finance space, there was really only alpha crypto bros or like super technical content that made my brain hurt. There were literally no girls my age posting content about how to make money online. And although I wasn't an expert, at just 18, I'd managed to earn over $100,000. So I thought, what if I just start making basic finance content on things like how to get started investing or my favorite business books and things like that. So I put my doubts aside and decided to just give it a go. My first videos were so terrible and embarrassing, but they were mega viral. My fourth ever video that I posted got over 1 million views, and by month 6, I had over 10,000 followers. But honestly, looking back at my old TikTok videos, they weren't anything special, the camera quality was terrible, and I didn't even have an idea of how to make content. So you might be thinking, how did I blow up so quickly then? Well, it was because I randomly tapped into something called a demand gap. It is 100% one of the biggest reasons why I make $150,000 a month on social media, while most people never make any money. So in a moment, I'll show you how you can find your own so that it's easy for you to grow and monetize a following. But first, what is a demand gap and why does it work so well? A demand gap is basically a gap in the market where there's a massive demand for something, but almost no one is creating content around it. It's like finding a room full of hungry people and you're the only one with food. Let me give you 2 real examples that will make this crystal clear. The first example is Emma Chamberlain. When she started, YouTube was flooded with perfectly polished lifestyle vloggers. Ring lights, perfect makeup, going to coffee shops. But Emma found a demand gap. She started making vlogs that felt chaotic, real, and messy. She was talking to the camera like she was FaceTiming her best friend while eating cereal in her pajamas. Now that style is oversaturated now, but at the time it was new, fresh, and exciting. People were tired of overproduced content and were craving something authentic. And it's a big reason why she exploded. Or then there's outdoor cooking channels. YouTube cooking was mostly baking videos or people cooking in their kitchen. Then channels like Man with the Pot started making cooking videos outside in nature, and then boom, it was super successful. Now, demand gaps have always been important, but in 2025, if you want to build a content business on social media, it's the only way to succeed. And it's because the internet is saturated. According to this recent article, there are over 18.1 million videos posted on YouTube every single week. That's more than the population of Sweden and Norway combined. And I've seen the impact of this firsthand. Like I said, when I first started making content, I was pretty much the only young girl on YouTube talking about finance. Now there are literally hundreds of new faces, but obviously don't stress. The good news is, once you know how to find a demand gap, it doesn't really matter how much competition there is. Think about it like this: if you're the only coffee shop in town of 10,000 people, you're going to get customers, even if your coffee is just okay. And that's exactly what this strategy allows you to do. It allows you to find completely new content topics that have no competition, but a ton of demand. So then how do you actually find these demand gaps? Well, if you've heard people talk about this strategy before, you might have heard them say things like study existing content and find what's missing. But honestly, this isn't that easy to do, especially when you don't really know what you're looking for. So instead, I've come up with a much easier method that I call context flipping. It's literally the most simple technique, but it's amazing at easily finding demand gaps that everyone else can't see. Here's exactly how it works. You pretty much just take an already winning content style lifestyle, something like fitness, gardening, or cooking, then you find out what the common context is. And what I mean by that is where they make the content, how it's delivered, or who it's designed for. Then you simply flip one of them. For example, let's say you want to create a healthy eating podcast. Right now, these types of podcasts are all done inside Polished Studios. But what if you flipped it and started doing your podcasts sitting inside fast food restaurants? That would 100% get my attention. Or let's say you want to create fitness content. Right now, everyone's targeting people that go to the gym. But what if you made content for busy travelers by teaching them how to work in hotel rooms? I don't know anybody doing this. These simple little context flips work because they break normal patterns. Our brains are literally hardwired to notice things that don't fit in. So when someone starts talking about healthy eating while they're sitting in a fast food restaurant, your brain instantly pays attention. Okay, so now you understand what a demand gap is and how context flipping works. But I know you're probably thinking, Sarah, this sounds great, but how do I actually do this myself? So let me walk you through my exact 3-step process that will have you finding your own demand gap so you can start posting content tonight. Step 1, pick your niche, and I don't want you to overthink this. Ask yourself, what do you already Google, talk about, or help your friends with? Not what's trending on TikTok, but what's actually fun for you to talk about. If you're obsessed with skincare, start there. If you love budgeting and saving money, start there. Or if you love baking, then you guessed it, that's your niche. It's really that simple. Step 2, find the pattern. Here's what I want you to do tonight. So spend about 30 minutes scrolling through TikTok, YouTube, or Instagram in your niche. But you're not just mindlessly scrolling, you're asking 3 questions. What's the vibe? What are the top videos doing? What do I keep seeing over and over? This builds your radar. You're not looking to copy anyone or anything like that. You're just looking for the default setting in this niche. Like when I studied finance content, the default was young or middle-aged men talking about, crypto, stocks, or how to start a business. All right, so you have your niche, you know your common context. Now let's get into step 3. This is where you flip the context. Now, I just want you to start by just flipping one of the variables. Like I shared earlier, this is things like where the content is made, how it's being delivered, and who it's being made for. So for example, if everyone in your niche is filming content inside, you should try filming in a cafe, your laundromat, or in nature. Or if you're making fitness content and everyone is making content for young gym bros, then you can make content for moms who've just given birth, or people may be recovering after surgery. These are just a few quick examples I pulled out of my head without really doing any research. So you can start to see that if you actually sit down and think about this, you'll be able to come up with a ton of winning ideas. But as you might already be thinking, finding a demand gap is only the first step to making $10,000 a month with social media. You still need to learn things like what actually makes a good video, how do you go viral, what platform should you start posting on, and how do you overcome the fear of what others will think. And trust me, I know how overwhelming all of this can be. It's like you have all this built up energy, but you don't have a clear roadmap with how to put it into action. Well, this is exactly why I created the Content Creation Mentorship, a complete 6-module system that takes anyone, even complete beginners with zero experience, from zero to their first $10,000 per month with content creation. And it's already helping beginners just like you get amazing results. Just like my student Nick, he had never created content before, was terrified of being on camera, but after going through my program, he made over $25,000 in just 90 days using the exact strategies I teach. Or Anthony, who was stuck in analysis paralysis for months, but is now consistently hitting $5,000 per month, working just a few hours per day. Now, the reason why these guys got such fast results is because they didn't do it alone. When you join my mentorship, you get direct access to me and a 7-figure mentor who will guide you step by step and keep you accountable. Because let's be honest, the strategies aren't the hard part, it's showing up consistently and pushing through when things get tough. That's why we handle accountability and mindset work too. Now, I'm totally biased, but I do think this is the fastest and easiest way for beginners to hit $10,000 a month online in 2025. So if you are interested, then click the link in my description and you'll be taken to a new page with all the info. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one.